would happen if the U.S., since it's a monetary sovereign and can print money, what if it just printed out all of its debt and paid it off?
Well, you're monetizing your debt, so that it would become worthless really rapidly. It's already kind of doing that anyway.
Right.
But so the market value would immediately crash as it's happening now. People are understanding that the only buyer of the U.S. debt is the U.S. It is printing money to buy its own debt. So that's why it's becoming so precarious. Now, as the BRICS establish themselves outside of the dollar, and they don't need a dollar for global trade anymore, then the money will flow into whatever currency they're trading. The Chinese yuan or the Russian ruble, or they will probably come up with a common currency like the euro, but it'll be backed by gold or something like that. So once there's a competing currency, like a gold-backed BRIC currency, right? The money flows around the world would flow out of the dollar and go into that currency, right? And so then that dollar has even less value. So now when you go to the supermarket, it doesn't cost you $3 for an avocado. It costs you $12 for an avocado, because it's literally going down the path of Venezuela, where the streets are littered with paper money. You need a suitcase of paper money to go to the grocery store. And that's what's coming, because the rest of the world is like, fuck you. Driven by Russia, because Russia, has been saying for 20 years, look, NATO, buzz off. Okay. Not even in World War II did we have so many tanks on our border. Yeah. Fuck off.
We're going against the NATO charter. Yeah. The NATO charter, they came out in 1954, said we're not allowed to go east. And that's all we've done.
That's it.
Is go east. In 1998, we passed, there was a bill to move NATO east. And 14 US senators publicly said, this is a bad idea. We're going to antagonize Russia. Is before Putin even got into office.
Yep.
And there's no way, and people always see, oh, Graham loves Putin. This is not a support of Putin.
No.
This is just saying and Putin said this in an interview, if Russia was trying to put bases in Canada, we would go bananas.
Right.
If China was putting bases in Mexico, we would go bananas.
Yep.
Look what happened to the Cuban Missile Crisis. Why did that happen? Because we had already put nukes in Turkey. We antagonized we started the Cuban Missile Crisis. America is causing problems.
Hugely. And there's no good media debate about it.
No.
Right? So there's independent media, but independent media doesn't have the reach of NBC, ABC.
Down. Look at Tucker Carlson. There's a lot about Tucker Carlson I don't agree with, but he goes to Russia to interview Putin, and everyone starts attacking Tucker Carlson. I'm like, well, if you're a journalist, why don't you get on a goddamn plane and interview Putin?
Right.
Plus, Putin has been interviewed by all of these Christian Lamonpour, all these CNN people, because he's a world leader.
Yeah.
Aren't you not a journalist? Should you not want to interview a world leader? This kind of stuff drives me nuts. And no matter what you say or do, and I've done a lot of indie journalism, I've been called a Kremlin puppet because I was on RT. I was on Peter Lavelle's show, Crosstalk, a bunch. I was on Lee Camp's show. I was called a Putin because I'm like, friends of mine were okay with RT getting shut down. I go, goes against freedom of the press.
Right.
Don't you want to hear dissenting views? And now it's any view, and either side gets shouted down by the other side. You can't. Now it's just anything you say is wrong, anything. And there's no reasonable debate. We don't have, like you said, we don't have real journalism.
No.
And, we've talked about this. There used to be healthy discussions and debates. And now a debate would just be some pay-per-view event to make money to see two people fight. Now it's just be like Real Housewives of Dumbtown or whatever. That's what we get now. We don't even get.
No, the quality of the fake debates has gone down.
Yeah.
It's just like the quality of fake wrestling has gone down, right? The quality of fake food has gone down. It was when I was a kid, there was a few things like Crisco, it was an industrialized food product that was just a piece of garbage, but now there's almost no food in food. right? There's almost no debate in media. There's no medicine in medicine. It's all crackpot, lunacy, nut jobs. It's like I said to earlier, like I've been doing this fasting every week for 84 hours a week, starting on Monday night through Friday morning.
Wow.
Just water. So my immune system kicks in. You go into a state of apogee, and so your body is like, we need to boost your immune system because you're like not eating anything. So I've been doing that for 84 hours a week, every week for 7 out of 8 weeks. I usually 1 out of 8 weeks I don't do it, but 7 out of 8 weeks I will be on this. I'm doing it right now. So I start on Monday after lunch. I stop eating until Friday breakfast. Just water and some a couple of supplements,
coffee or whatever.
Coffee, I have, yeah, coffee. So, and that's brought on by the fact that I can't stand the fact that I live in the totally synthetic piece of shit world.
Yeah, with all the food.
Like my body is real, and my body tells me it's real when I don't put anything into it. It's like, hey, dude, what the fuck's up with this? But also, I tell you, when I was in my 30s, I used to it wasn't fasting, but I would cut my calorie down, and I was working out a lot. And your body is screaming for food. It's really put food in me now. Your body, when you're 30, your metabolism is racing.
Yeah.
You want food. Now I'm in my 60s. If I don't eat, my body says, great, give us a day off. We represent your body. The liver will come up and say, in behalf of your body, or my kidney, we applaud your decision not to make us work for these 3 days because we need the rest because we're old like you.
No, I've started to do intermittent fasting. I'll go 14 hours from night to morning before I eat. So my mornings and I've done a 30-some hour fast, and I've seen people sometimes do one 24-hour fast a week.
Yeah.
I see the benefits of it. I really saw my mental focus.
Yeah.
All that stuff.